Given the growing number of risks that organizations have to manage and that their boards must oversee, whether it's climate, talent, cyber, or ESG more broadly, many companies are stepping back and asking the question, do we need a separate risk committee? For perspective, about 12% of the S&P 500 have a standalone risk committee, and that number is inclusive of those financial institutions that may be required to by Dodd-Frank. So do we need a separate committee? Well, it depends. But there's certainly some questions you're going to want to ask along the way in the decision-making process. As a starting point, boards are going to want to understand management's process for identifying risks, assessing the probability and impact of those risks, understanding who's weighing in on that process, and do we as the board agree with the output from the risk assessment. Once you're aligned there, then you can look to the current allocation. How are the top risks being overseen? Are they sitting with a full board? Are they sitting with separate committees? Does that make sense? Are committee agendas balanced? Are there directors with expertise that are sitting in one committee, but the risk is overseen by another committee? And finally, if we were to create a separate risk committee, who would sit on that committee? No matter what you decide, whether it's a separate committee or to keep things as is, there's a few final thoughts that I'll leave you with. One, think about how you're periodically reviewing risk allocation. Perhaps as part of the annual assessment process. Make sure that nothing is slipping through the cracks. And two, how are you connecting the dots among committees? If certain risk is being overseen by Committee A, but Committee B needs to know about it, are there more robust committee readouts? Is there perhaps cross-committee membership? Just things to think about. No matter what you decide, risk oversight is a critical component of the board's role, and one that I'm sure you're spending a lot of time talking about these days.